What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a classic late night upload. Hope you guys enjoy. Drop a like if you do. And today we're talking about smoking some cheap weed. Now, I've made a video about smoking some straight Reggie, like some stuff that was barely identifiable as weed, but this is just really budget weed. So, hope you guys enjoy. Let's dive into it. So, this happened about a year ago, maybe a little over. It was like leading up to me going into rehab. And at this point in time, as all of you probably know, I was still smoking a lot. I was still hooting and hollering, doing my thing. And in this particular instance, I'm gonna be honest about it now that your boy's done with probation. There were some stories I had to save until I was done with it, just in case, because I was a little worried, in all honesty. You never know. But, I'd ordered a little bit of weed from the deep web here and there, and it became kind of a habit of mine. I wouldn't exclusively re-up on the deep web, but it was like my little treat to myself here and there. And, I was scrolling through some listings, looking through some stuff, and I was running a little tight on money. I wanted to get the most bang for my buck. I'm scrolling through, and I was using the classic Alpha Bay. For all you guys who have been on there, RIP Alpha Bay, even though it was kind of a shitty site, still RIP Alpha Bay. But I'm scrolling through there, I'm looking through these listings, and I stumble upon some listings for some shake, and let me tell you guys, for those of you who haven't been on the deep web, shake is like disgustingly cheap. Like, shake and trim is actually dirt cheap. It's like Ugandan prices. It's like pennies. I mean, not literally, but it's dirt cheap, So I'm scrolling through some listings, and I find this one guy in particular. I'm not going to say his name, but I find this one vendor in particular who's selling QPs, HPs, Ps of straight trim and popcorn nugs, and I'm looking through it, and I'm a little curious. So I shoot dude a message. I'm like, yo, your listing says it's trim. Is this smokable, or is this, like, what is this? I don't know, like, can I smoke this? Is this just for edibles? Like, what is it? Because, you can just buy straight trimmings and, like, sugar leaves and shit and make edibles with it, but I wanted to smoke. I didn't want to make edibles. So, I waited a day. He doesn't message me back. A day after that, he finally gets back to me, and I'm checking, like, rapidly, because I hadn't re-upped yet. I still had my weed, but I wanted to place this order, because if this was smokable, this was an incredible price, guys. I'm talking like this guy was running like $300 for half a pound of this fucking trim. I was like, this is either a scam or this is not smoke. It's just gonna be a bag of stems. It's gonna be a joke. He's gonna send me like a branch of a tree and just be like, yo, toke up, bro. Like, I'm about to get trolled on right now. I'm about to get fucked on. But I'm messaging him. He's like, yeah, it's smokable. I mean, I'd say about 95% of it's smokable. There is some stems in there and some hairs and shit like that. And for those of you guys don't know, there can be weed, or there can be hairs in, like, weed. How it kind of happens is it's like stem hairs. It's when you're growing weed, it's not literally hair, but, it's just, it seems like hair. It looks like hair. It feels like hair. It's like, it's weird. It's just this nippy shit. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a pain in the ass for those of you guys who have ever had to deal with, like, stem hairs in your fucking weed. It's a pain in the ass. That's how you know this was some boof as well. They didn't even pull that shit out. They were just like, whip it in there. But either way, I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm looking through. I decided I didn't want to buy a whole half pound just because I didn't really want to get finessed. I was really hesitant with this because this was an insane fucking deal. Half a pound of smokable bud. Granted it's shake and trim and probably pretty boof, for $300. Like, no matter the quality, if it's smokable, that's still pretty fucking cheap. That's like dirt low. That is PP prices right there. That's less than like $50 an ounce. That's fucking crazy. So, I'm looking through and I'm like, all right, I'll go for the QP. I'll go for the QP. Now, he was running the QP for like, I think it was like 180 or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was like 180 after shipping, I believe, 180 or 190. So I was like, all right, I'll go with that. So if I get finessed, I didn't get finessed as hard as I could have. It's whatever. I'll just take the L and wait for a little bit more money to come my way and order off, someone I've bought from before. So I placed the order. I'm chilling at this point. I'm just like, fuck it. He processes it pretty quickly. For those of you guys who've never been on Alpha Bay, how it works is when you place the order, the vendor would then still have to accept. Or wait, was that Hansa? I think it was Alpha Bay as well. Oh, I might be mixing it up. I know one of the two deep web markets, it was like you place the order and then instead of being on processing, the vendor had to actually manually accept the order. But I think it was Alphabet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not certain. But either way, I'm waiting on it to process or him to accept it. I think it was him accepting it. And finally, it processed and was marked as shipped. And there's not really a way to track your deep web packages unless you specifically ask for a tracking number, and a lot of vendors aren't even going to give them out to you just for security reasons, So I had no way to track if he even mailed this package, and for the next 3 days, I was anxious as hell. I was like, did I just get finessed? Because I was like, wait, well, what if it takes a while to ship? What if he marked it as shipped but didn't really ship it? What if it's just slow-ass shipping, What if I think I got robbed and then a week and a half later, there's my box of weed, I'd be blown. But either way, I'm sitting there, I let a couple days go by. He just messages me to let me know that it's shipped and all that, and I'm chilling, I don't even message him back. I'm just like, all right, now we wait. So I'm chilling, I'm waiting, and finally, there's this nifty little package at my door, and at this point, I lived with my dad and not my mom because this was last year, and excuse me, I got mean-ass hiccups, but either way, I lived with my dad at this point, and how it was there, at my mom's house, we have a big-ass fucking mailbox. This shit can fit a lot of stuff. At my dad's house, it was one of those, janky little wooden mailboxes that fit, some letters. You couldn't put a box in there. So, what happened was, the delivery guy, it was at my door, so I guess he just came out, dropped it at the door or whatever. But I opened the door, I'm checking the mail every day. Literally the day after I ordered it, I was looking for it. I don't know why. I guess it was just because I was, anxious about it. But, no shit, it wasn't going to be there in 24 hours. I didn't pay for overnight. That's not happening. But either way, I'm checking the door. And finally, on the third day, there's this nifty little package. And let me tell you guys, it was packaged pretty poorly. I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very surprised that this got to me. And when I grabbed it, I was an idiot and didn't make sure that there was no one watching or anything or any shit like that, because sometimes police, if they know drugs are in a package, if it's really, a beat package and maybe you could smell through it or they have some sort of evidence, they'll watch to make sure that you take it in and then bust in, and do their thing, or they'll do a controlled delivery. But either way, I'm grabbing my package. I walk back to my kitchen counter. I rip it open. I could not contain myself. I was like, dude, there's no way. There's no way this is legit the amount I ordered. So, I cut open this package. There's the Mylar in there. There's the Mylar. There's the vac seals in there. It's triple vacuum sealed. It was actually pretty good stealth for the price I paid. I mean, the package was beat, but the interior, the stealth was still nice. So I'll give him that. But either way, I opened this package, and there it is. It looked compressed. It was brick weed. It was very, very compressed, and I honestly thought I got shorted, but I realized very quickly that I did not get shorted. He packed it really, really overweight. I'm talking really overweight. I'm saying he packed it a half ounce fat. Very, very, very fat. So, I get to scaling it. I go up to my room. I'm sitting at my desk. I clear off my countertop, move my keyboard, got my tiny little scale and a little plastic cup from the kitchen. And, cups never fail with the scaling. Truly, they're phenomenal. I slap the cup on there. We smack that tear button and we just get to work, boys. We're putting this, I'm not kidding when I say this is brick weed. I literally just ripped out a slab of it. I just broke off a slab of it. It was like candy. And I put it in there. And I just put in this giant fucking slab. And it was I looked at it and I was like, this is maybe an ounce. Maybe a half ounce slab. This fucking brick ass slab was 2 zips. I was blown. I was like, okay, hold your goddamn horses. This guy's on some next level brick shit, bro. This guy has to have made bricks in his lifetime. Real building bricks. Because this guy's really on this shit. He knows what he's doing. And it didn't smell. It didn't really smell that much. If you really put your nose up to it, you could smell it, but it didn't have an odor, which is concerning, but also good for packaging. I'm not going to complain, but also a little concerning for quality, but I'll get to that later. So anyways, I ended up scaling it all up. It came out very, very fat. Let me tell you guys, it ended up being 130 grams, I'm pretty sure. 130. And considering I paid $200 for this, that's fucking great. That is an amazing deal. That is less than $2 a gram, guys. That is actual dirt prices. Granted, I didn't buy from him again because I was a little bit worried because he'd done a lot of sales, and I was like, okay, this guy's bound to go to jail soon. Like, I don't want to be involved in this any longer. So I just, I collected my winnings and went onwards to my normal vendors. But either way, I'm scaling it out. It's all good. And the first thing I do, I'm like, all right, I'm going to roll it up. So, I'm trying to like break this weed apart and separate this brick ass weed. And what was actually really nice about it was at the time I didn't have a grinder. It was weird. I always smoked blunts, but I never had a grinder. I would always hand grind. I don't know. I liked really breaking apart the weed and just getting that stank on the fingers. Boys, I'm an ass eater, an ass fingerer, and a weed fingerer. So getting the stank on the fingers ain't nothing for me. But either way, I'm breaking up this weed. I'm rolling a blunt, and I don't really know how much I got to put in the blunt, but judging by the fact that what looked like an ounce maybe was really 2, it was probably really fat without me even realizing it. I rolled it to the best of my ability, and it was decent. Decent is a stretch. It was pretty boof, but for the price, it was great. I'm sparking it up. I finally roll my blunt with this brick weed, and it was like dark green. It wasn't like dark green, but it was like definitely darker than your freshly gathered bud, or like, your high quality, hydroponic indoor grow bud. It was definitely like some outdoor ass trim and some low quality outdoor at that, So I spark up this blunt, and the worst part of it for me was that when I smoked it, there wasn't really a taste, that like how there wasn't really a smell, there wasn't really a taste. It was almost like I was just smoking the paper. Like there was just nothing in between it. Like I just took out the tobacco and just sparked it and said, fuck it, dude, let's go. That's essentially what it tasted like. I'm hitting this thing, and I mean, it's producing smoke. I mean, I got high, like it worked, but it wasn't really a pleasurable experience. The high was okay, but the smoking part of it sucked dick. Like, honestly, I would rather just put that into a bong so I could clear it faster, like a bowl or something, than smoke a blunt and have to sit there for like 5 to 10 minutes smoking a whole blunt, just sitting there facing that blunt. I'd way rather just pack a fat bowl and rip that shit. But either way, I'm smoking this blunt. I'm smacking it, tasting nothing but paper. I'm coughing a lot. Let me tell you guys, I normally don't cough very much from blunts. This one got me. This one got me really coughing a lung up. And, I finally finished the blunt, and I'm not going to lie, I was pretty thrown off. I was actually high. I was decently fried right now. Like, I'd say the amount I put in that blunt, I think was the equivalent of maybe smoking like a gram of my normal pickup, or maybe like a 0.8, a 0.7 of my normal pickup, like it got me feeling good. I wasn't fried out of my mind. I wasn't stoned as fuck by any means, but I was feeling nice. I'm not going to lie. And as soon as I stopped smoking that blunt and, just slowly but surely just started feeling really, really nice as the next couple minutes went on, I was like, okay, this was a phenomenal investment. But the thing is, I didn't really want to smoke all of this to myself, because I knew that if I had this, I wouldn't want to buy good weed. I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to blow all this fucking boof and not buy good weed. Then I'd be that guy who pulls up to the match with like just stinky ass boof fucking garbage ass weed, and I don't want to be that guy. So what I ended up doing was I took 2.5 ounces of it, I sold those, and then the 1.5 ounces I just smoked personally, like when I was out of good weed. This bud actually lasted me a while, because since I figured it's already so boof, letting it sit around for a while wasn't really going to do shit. So I might as well just let it sit and use it as like emergency weed, So whenever I ran out of my good weed, it's always like, oh, well, I got the boof. Right here, boys. I got the brick. Here it is, boys. Just roll up that fucking brick blunt, the rectangular swisher. Let's go, boys. Rectangular woods right now, boys. Brick season. Let's fucking go. Brick and mortar, ladies and boys. Ladies and gentlemen. But either way, it was pretty impressive that this was even smokable to begin with. And yes, there was some I had to pull out. I did have to sort through a lot of stems and a big ass chunk of stem hair. But it was still worth it. It was still a worthy purchase. And even though it was some cheap weed that I wouldn't really want to smoke again, I can't lie and say I didn't get high because I'd be flexing. I got high, like I fucking hate when people are like, yeah, dude, honestly, man, I don't even bother smoking mids because I don't get high, man. Honestly, dude, if that's not top shelf hydroponic gas pack, I won't even get stoned, dude. 10 gram blunt, that's pussy shit if it's not gas pack. Mids, don't get me stoned. Shut the fuck up with that shit. It'll get you high. It's got THC in it. Shut your fucking lips. It's just not as enjoyable. I hate people who do that shit. I'm not gonna lie to you boys. I got fried off this boof, and it was nice. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Thank you all for watching. Expect a new video tomorrow or the day after. Not really sure yet because I'm kind of busy tomorrow. But either way, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.